Thank you, Iowa City. You know, when we were planning these events, we had no idea how many people would show up. And last night we were in Omaha, and we had to turn away 800 people who couldn't get in. And after I speak here, I think for the first time in my political life, I'm going to be running to another venue a block away to speak to another overflow crowd. So thank you all for coming out. Let me thank Ijima and Zach and Brian and Sandy and Patrick for all that they have said in defining why we are here today. We are here today because under Trump, our nation is facing a series of crises unprecedented in our modern history. And what we do now, in the coming days, in the coming weeks, and in the coming months, will impact not only our lives, but the lives of our kids, the lives of our grandkids, and in fact, the very well-being of the planet in terms of climate. So if there has ever been a time in the modern history of our country to stand up and fight back, now is that time. And in my view, and I say this with some knowledge and experience as a U.S. Senator, Trumpism will not be defeated by politicians inside the D.C. Beltway. For better or worse, that is not going to happen. It will only be defeated by millions of Americans in Iowa, in Vermont, in Nebraska, in every state in this country, who come together in a strong grassroots movement and say no to oligarchy, no to authoritarianism, no to kleptocracy, no to massive cuts in programs that low-income and working Americans desperately need. No to huge tax breaks for the wealthiest people in this country. And that is why I am in Iowa today. Well, thank you. We're in this together. Today in America, we are rapidly moving toward an oligarchic form of society where a handful of multi-billionaires not only have extraordinary wealth, but unprecedented economic, media, and political power as well. If you want to know who is running the U.S. government, simply take a look at Trump's inauguration. Do you remember that? No. Now, for better or worse, I was there, right on the front row. I got stuck there. And standing right behind Trump, as he was being sworn in, were the three wealthiest people in America: Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg. Those are the three right behind them. And behind them were the mini billionaires. You know, they weren't worth hundreds of billions, but there were 13 of those billionaires who were nominated by Trump to be major agency heads. And when we talk about oligarchy, I want you all to remember this. In America today, while the wealthiest people, the 1%, have never, ever in the history of our country had it so good, at the same exact time, the working families of our country, as you well know, are struggling desperately to just make ends meet, to put a roof over their heads, to pay the rent, to pay for health care, to put food on the table, to pay for child care, pay for college, and maybe if you are an older worker in America, 55 or 60, you're desperately trying to figure out how you're going to put aside a few bucks to retire with dignity. That is the reality. In America